Lena Dunham sexually molested her younger sister Grace. And society's reaction to this is very telling. Lena Dunham did not see jail time. She was not canceled. Her career kept going. And her younger sister forgave her. All the things that never happens when a man commits these sexual acts. Now, we're going to show you first her quotes from Lena herself admitting to her crimes. And we're going to show you how major publications lied for her and supported her. Now, this is in 2014. And here's the thing. Guys like Roman Polanski, when he committed pedophilia, he was never let go. If, that was decades ago. And if someone mentions his name, the first thing that comes up is his sexual misconduct. Then maybe they'll talk about his stellar filmmaking career. Lena Dunham, I bet most of you guys never even heard of this. Okay. Because people don't care. Society does not care about the sexual misconduct of people if they're women. They don't care about children. All the pedo smearing and hunting is strictly an excuse to harm men, to throw them behind bars and to hound them. Once women do it, people don't care about the children, right? Now, these are direct quotes from Lena herself admitting her crimes, right? She talks about her sister Grace. As she grew, I took to bribing her for her time and affection. $1 in quarters if I could do her makeup like a motorcycle chick. 3 pieces of a candy if I could kiss her on the lips for 5 seconds. Whatever she wanted to watch on TV, if she could just relax on me. Basically, anything a sexual predator might do to a small suburban girl, I was trying. So she's not a sexual predator because, well, she just isn't. Right? This is her exploring her sexuality, everyone, right? When guys do it, they're sexual predators. When women do it, they're just exploring their sexuality. Those words actually get used, by the way. Now, this is an important one because it shows she's doing it right up till she's 17. I shared a bed with my sister Grace until I was 17 years old. She's a young woman. She was afraid to sleep alone, and I would begin asking me around 5 p.m. every day whether she could sleep with me. I put on a big show of saying no, taking pleasure in watching her beg and sulk, but eventually I always relented. Her sticky, muscly little body thrashed beside me every night as I read and Sexton watched reruns of SNL. Sometimes I even slipped my hand into my underwear to figure some stuff out. These are weasel words, to masturbate. There's nothing to figure out. She's trying to do the old confused. I was sexually confused when I was 17 years old, a grown woman. No, she was turned on by her little sister and she was masturbating. That's what's going on. So it's also ancestral. It's not just that, pedophilic. Now, the Boston Review, which isn't the Guardian, I expect this from the Guardian, but the Boston Review is a major publication and they support Lena Dunham and they lie for her. They try to protect her. Lena Dunham wasn't a pedophile and neither were you. They're talking about other women, right? Why are we even debating whether a 7-year-old child was a child molester? You see how they're lying by omission? Because Lena mentioned how she was 17 years old when this was going on. So, what is the Boston Review doing? Only focusing on when it started, when she was 7, right? And trying to spin it. Well, they are spinning it. right? Now, they say Lena was 7 and curious, as girls of 7 are. I guess her curiosity stayed right up till she was 17, right? She asked her mother if her little sister Grace's vagina looks like her own. Now, this is something they leave out too, right? Lena's curiosity is not sated. Playing later with Grace, she pries the 1 year old's tiny labia apart, only to discover to her horror a cache of pebbles. They're leaving out the fact that Lena was the one who put them there, right? To her horror. No, no. She cries out, mother flies to the rescue. Grace cackles happily. No scolding ensues, just extraction of the pebbles. File under sexual curiosity, child. Parental reaction appropriate. That's some real weird behavior. They left out that Lena the one who shoved them up there. So they're lying. Now, this is how they also use the old racist card to try and shut down anyone calling this, pedophile out. International Review's roving correspondent Kevin D. Williamson. Inside his shiny pink dome roils a lava contempt for, among others, African Americans. He compares a 9-year-old black boy to a primate. And transsexuals, an effigy of women, and women who have abortions, hang them. So here, they're any guy who calls them out, they're smearing, right? You know, he's a racist bigot. But Dunham here actually admitted to her crimes. So it doesn't matter what this guy was about. He's telling the truth. And again, the worst thing that she got was scorn. She got social scorn. She wasn't thrown behind bars for a crime. And again, her career went on, and her sister, and this is the worst of all to me, forgave her. One of the guys mentioned to me, actually, Mr. Pink and Yellow, he said, if Lena was her brother, like if it was Jake Dunham, she would have hung her brother out. She would have said, yeah, he molested me, throw him behind bars. But because her sister did it, all of a sudden she's here to defend her. Let's see. The younger Dunham appeared to be defending her sisters in a series of messages on Twitter. No, she wasn't appearing, she was. As a queer person, I'm committed to people narrating their own experiences. Women, that's what she means. Determining for themselves what has and has not been harmful. Oh, really? So it's not the victim that gets to decide that, it's the perpetrator. So when women molest children, it's up to them to decide whether it harmed children or not. So Grace is just as disgusting as her sister Lena, as far as I'm concerned. You are a scumbag as much as Lena is, right? She also appealed to the public to think about how we police the sexualities of young women. There you go. There you go. She tries to add queer and trans, but we all know this is about young women. Queer and trans are just thrown in there as shields. So Grace herself is saying, I was molested. I was a victim of a predator, but because she's female, I'm all right with that. I can evolve with that. I can get over that. Everyone who says rape is worse than death, obviously it's lying. Because here this young girl was molested, it's all fine with her because the perpetrator was female, right? So these crimes themselves are not the big boogeymen that people make them out to be. What it is whether perpetrator is male or female, pure and simple. And again, Dunham here, she was never punished. People mouthed off at her on Twitter. So what? That's nothing. Her career kept going. She was never faced prosecution. She was forgiven by her victim and the memory hole. Society probably doesn't even remember that she committed this crime. So all this molestation and pedophilia, these pedo smears are strictly to harm men. And that's all it is. Society does not care about children. It's never been about them. And we've entered an era where women can commit whatever crimes they like, and it's unofficially legal.